let's welcome Mason to the stage.
Lynaugh, how do you say your last name?
Lynaugh. It's Lynaugh. Well, depending on who in my family you ask, there's different beliefs across my father's side.
Okay, what are the different pronunciations?
Yeah, some of them say Lynaugh, some of them say Lynaugh, but it's my family. Like, my dad is the only one that says Lynaugh, so that's what I go with.
Yeah, I would go with what my dad says if that's his last name, too. Yeah. Well, very nice to have you on the show finally, Mason.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for being our Stand With Crypto live streamers for the week.
No, we're super honored. And we've definitely worked with Stand With Crypto before. We went out to the Beeple studios out in South Carolina during election season. Yes. And we did our workshop out there. So we really appreciate all the support that Stand With Crypto has given Creators and I, and there's layers to this. But definitely we want to know, what is the work that you're doing out here for the conference?
Yeah, so I'll step back a little bit. So Stand With Crypto is very special because we represent the actual crypto voters and the crypto users, and our job is to give them a voice on Capitol Hill. There's a lot of great work being done in crypto policy, but Stand With Crypto is in a niche, and we're the grassroots organization. So what we're doing out here is I'm connecting with a lot of community members. You know, the Bitcoin community is very passionate. They're great advocates, so Stand With Crypto, stand with Bitcoin too. I'm looking for state chapter presidents while I'm out here, and we're hanging out with Mike, who you just saw, our Nevada chapter president, who did a great meeting earlier today with Representative Forsford. So, Nevada's a great state. It's very important. There's a lot of pro crypto stuff bubbling under, and we got a great crypto champion here as well.
I love that. You're doing a lot of work. We love to see people who are on the ground, being face-to-face. It's just so nice to see that, from somebody and from an entity that is bigger than someone's self. But it's nice to see who are the people behind it doing the work. And you said that you are looking for Stand With Crypto chapter presidents. What does it take to be a president? Do they have to be already in the politics and understand policy? Or can someone who's passionate and an enthusiast be a part of it?
So I'm looking for real community organizers, people that they should be passionate about policy or advocacy, but Stand With Crypto's job is to help facilitate community growth as well. So you find a great community organizer somewhere. A lot of people that do meetups understand that it can be very challenging to raise like $1,000 to throw an event, Our job is to make sure that none of these community organizers are ever blocked when they're trying to grow their community, because ultimately they're doing a lot of the groundwork that makes our movement powerful in an electoral capacity, right? So, we've got. You help in Lynaugh, California, which is awesome, and we're just looking to have 50 across the country, and all these people can get involved at the state level. Well, like if you want a Bitcoin reserve in your state, we can work on that together. But ultimately, it's about the community first.
I love that. Okay.
How many chapter presidents do you have now?
We are. Which one do you want? We're around 25 right now, and I'm trying to get to 50 by the fall because I'm launching the college chapter program next.
Oh, okay. I went to SDSU. That is a big college. That sounds cool because universities, you got 20,000 people in one place that you can talk to. I like that. All right. Okay. Do you have another question, Val?
Yeah, I know that you guys also just came from Washington, D.C. We heard Mike a little bit, but what was that like for you, who has this role, the community role, and showing up with all of the chapter presidents that you have? How do you have to show up to something like that? How do you have to present yourself?
So it's funny, the first time I did a fly-in, I was part of the original Stand With Crypto Day, which was in September 2023. I was a founder then. I wasn't part of the Stand With Crypto team, and I went on behalf of Texas, and I met with my representatives there. We had a great time. We helped convince one of the first Democrats to come on board with crypto legislation back then, and now we have a great, bipartisan coalition. But the point of these fly-ins is to humanize crypto and show lawmakers what crypto actually looks like, because these people are really busy, and they get their news from wherever they get their news. They get information from their advisors, their staff, their peers, their constituents, and there's a lot of misconceptions about crypto, and a lot of people haven't even met the community. So these are really, really, really strategic in that when a congressperson or senator or whatever, they meet someone from their district that has a company based in their district that employs 20 people, and they're working on a solution that's supposed to improve their society, that's kind of an undeniable argument that, there's more to crypto than the bad things you read in the New York Times. So it's very effective, and it's very fun, and it's also very important to allow that our founders and our chapter presidents to make their voices heard and hear it from them directly. You give them advice, right? You're like, here's how to tell your story, this and that. But the most important thing is, can you speak from your heart? Can you be genuine? And can you convey your passion about crypto, what it could do for the world, and what you're doing? And ultimately, that's typically well received.
We are definitely receiving it very well here.
Transmission received.
No, thank you for all the work that you've been doing. Mason is a very, very busy guy himself, so we're super honored to have you on our show today. But I also see a lot of passion and drive that you have for this. I understand that you were also part of the Texas DAO before you were Stand with Crypto. And so talk a little bit about where does that passion come from? Where did this start?
Yeah, so I was the founder, one of the co-founders of ATX DAO. We got a great group of people that we did it with. And that was actually how I got into Stand with Crypto. They selected me as the founder of this DAO to go and talk about it. I got involved with ATX DAO because I thought crypto had a lot of potential to do good things, specifically for my city. I'm born and raised in Austin. Austin is, a lot of people know this, they've experienced a notable boom in their tech scene and their population.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
A lot of the things that originally attracted people to Austin was the arts, and tech doesn't always trickle down. A lot of people are moving here. Maybe the argument that Austin locals will say is, hey, the city's changing, the people that made Austin special can't live here, they're not getting supported. And so I was like, crypto has a lot of people that they like art. I thought there's overlap with NFTs, art, all that types of stuff. And so I was like, that's one angle. I also was like, I think if Austin was a crypto hub, that'd be great for the city. I think crypto people are great, more crypto companies there, economic development. And I thought that I would love for Texas and Austin to be a crypto leader as far as legislation as well. So there were three different things that I was going after with ATX DAO. And, we did them all. We were able to work with the city council to do some good stuff. There was someone's trying to launch an Austin coin that would have been bad for people, so we stopped that. We got a DAO bill through the House. We didn't get through the Senate, but it was a great learning experience.
Wow.
And we did a giant grant program with Avalanche. We were able to give out something like 20 to 24 grants to artists to make NFTs in Austin. We did a bunch of other stuff too. I was throwing giant parties, giant concerts, free concerts for the city. Cedric Gervais, it was sick. But we had a lot of fun. And I grew a great community there, and I got noticed, I guess, and they were like, can you do that for the whole country? And I said, sure. Sounds good.
Parties for the whole country, of
That's the
course,
journey.
with the mission of advocating for crypto in your city and in your legislation and all that. So that's amazing. I love that. Anything else from you, Creatress?
No, I just want to make sure if anyone's listening, you realize that what he just said, that's basically what he's looking for chapter presidents, it sounds like to me. So if this sounds like your story, you might want to get in touch. And I don't know if we touched on this. How would anyone who's interested in being a person, a chapter representative, president, how do they apply? Who do they talk to? Where do they...
Yeah, so we're working on a more formal process, but right now, if you email me at mason@standwithcryptoalliance.org, we can meet and see if it's a good fit. And even if it's not, even if it doesn't feel like you should be responsible for a ton of different stuff, I'm always looking to support all community organizers, right? Yeah. So I'm happy to support meetups, even if you aren't the chapter president.
Oh, okay. So see, there was all this pressure to be like Mason, but now all of a sudden, there's not that much pressure, y'all. Anyone could reach out if you're really interested, and this sounds like something you want to be part of. Reach out to Mason. You never know. There may be a role, or there may be at least some support for what you're doing. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I would definitely say make sure you go and take the pledge at standwithcrypto.com. Show us that you are in it and you are joining the fight. You can go and get an NFT, right, when you join the pledge?
Yes.
Yeah, there's like different advocacy tasks you can do, but the most important thing is signing up there because we contact you when there's a important vote. So this year's the most critical year ever for crypto legislation. We've got stablecoin legislation and market structure legislation coming. Hopefully we can get them both done. That will unlock America as the home for crypto in the entire world. It'll change everything. It'll be amazing for our community. It'll be amazing for our country.
Yes.
So sign up and like be ready to stand with crypto.
Yes, be ready to stand with crypto and keep an eye on that Genius Act, right?
Yeah, so last week we had over 70,000 Stand With Crypto emails sent from community advocates like yourself. We had a great bipartisan majority that got us past the filibuster. If you're familiar with the Senate, things are very hard because of the filibuster. We got it through the filibuster, so we're on to it might be a little tedious, but we'll be on to like a amendment process, and then if all goes well, we'll have a final vote. So things are great with that. It was a great win for the community, a great win for the country.
Love it.
Well, that was amazing, and thank you so much again for all the work that you do as community lead, and of course also making it fun and making it welcoming. I mean, I know this guy's in a suit right now, but
not always.
I'm not always in a suit. I'm definitely not. But I do like it. I do like wearing.
It's nice.
It's nice. It's nice to have maybe something a little more flowy and fun, and something that feels like you're here. You're here to do business. You're here. You mean business. So
shake hands, baby.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Mason, for being on the show. And make sure you email him at mason@standwithcryptoalliance.org. All right.
Nice. All right. Till next time.
Woo! Woo! That was awesome. Wow. We had the head of community lead from Stand With Crypto here with us.
Yeah, that was really cool. I feel like we could have asked him like another 30 questions.
I know.
But he's very busy. Like
he is. He was telling me his schedule is like super packed. I mean, how can it not be? I mean, he has a really important role connecting with the community and using those votes and voices to get really important crypto legislation passed, right? And I really like that he said that his work is to humanize crypto.
Yeah, I mean, we're real. I mean, it makes so much sense once you put it that way, because it's like, well, who's using the technology? Obviously humans,
real people. I mean, maybe you might have a couple of AIs on there.
AIs also working on it. Yeah, you're right.
People who started here and who are building on it are real people, and it's a real thing. It's a real movement, and it's a real revolution, maybe you could say, right? Something that is happening, for the people, by the people, and what can you be more American than that for the people and by people. So
that's right.
Yeah,